All right. State of play for September 24th. What do we know will be here? What will be here? Like, that they've said, I think, is just The Last of Us. This track's louder than I thought it was.
We know of a couple of things.
Outside of what I've written down is Last of Us, Medieval, possibly something pertaining to Batman, and I want to see Ghost of Tsushima.
I believe we're supposed to see also more Call of Duty stuff.
The last thing we saw from like Ghost of Tsushima was like a year ago, and and since then the only thing that has happened in a year was a news headline the other day saying the boss of PlayStation looked at the game and his jaw dropped. That's less than a logo.
Because that's the Sucker Punch game, right?
I don't know. I don't know who's making Ghost of Tsushima. Nobody's here to remind me.
Of Tsushima. Yeah, Sucker Punch.
Their PR is really weird. It's really weird that they've waited on doing any kind of PR for Medieval when it wasn't like, you know, hidden that it's going to be a $30 game, and its release date's in October, I think. They didn't hide that. They just didn't say it anywhere. Why'd the music stop? Weird.
We scared off the music. Uh-oh.
Well, it's back now. Guess it was loading the track. Fubar does that sometimes. So, I don't know. I just want to still see it somewhere. Well, there's probably going to be a lot of Last of Us. Probably like some extended gameplay. Well, there's a media thing, so there might be there might be just like a teaser today.
But there was supposedly leaks of what the release date is, which I won't say what it is, but we may see that too.
The only idea we really have is that it's not soon because of Death Stranding. So it's probably to its benefit if Death Stranding's ready to go, just get that out and then...
Oh yeah, it was definitely let's not release two big games in the holiday season. We're not Nintendo, unfortunately.
Yeah, Nintendo launching like 5 killers at the same season.
I guess, I think it's a bit different actually now that I think about it, because it's not like they did Breath in the Wild and Odyssey at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I remember we talked about how they said Odyssey was basically done, but they just wanted to hold off.
The problem they had now is Demon X Machina, and at the same time as like Astral Chain. And then that's still
but those
in
are
between,
both third party, so that's a bit.
And that's still in between, like on everyone else's list. Like, Dragon Quest XI is this Friday, and Final Fantasy VIII Remastered came up on some people. Link's Awakening was like the other week.
Yeah, that was just Friday.
So it's
I think.
That's what happens when everyone, you know, that's what happens when these consoles get going, because it was like, where's all the games on Switch like last year? Well, the Switch was a gamble, so no one was like, you know, as prepared for it.
Right, they were prepared for the first year, and after the success that year, everyone was like, okay, we're gonna be fine, let's start developing games for this console.
Right. Anyways.
Or third parties were, at least.
Yeah. More in... And whatever was going on with Batman, it's like the it's got to be more than 30 years anniversary of Batman.
Batman Day was the other day.
Yeah, what was the anniversary? How many years? 80th.
Let's see.
80th. That's what I thought.
Wow. That's older than I thought.
Yeah, that's about what I thought. I knew it wasn't 30. I don't know what I'm thinking of that's 30. And it's already had like...
Dragon Ball, 30 years this year.
Oh.
That's the only thing I can think of.
I don't know.
Simpsons.
I don't think so.
I'm thinking of things that are 30 years because that would be 89. I'm just. Those are the first two that came to mind.
Dragon Quest, maybe.
That could be it.
Think Dragon Quest. Yeah, I'm thinking of Dragon Quest. So then, other than that, Medieval. Hey, maybe it'll run well this time. If we see it. Maybe that's why they haven't shown it, is still working on getting the game to run well. How did they get Spider-Man to run so well? That was Final Fantasy VII Remake running so well. But every time we saw gameplay of Medieval, it was fucking abysmal.
Probably the amount of resources that go into it. Because Medieval's still a smaller project. So while in theory you wouldn't need as many resources, they're not as worried about stability, I suppose.
And they better figure that out. I think it's a big crutch on Link's Awakening, as nice as it is. It is extremely annoying how many frame rate issues the game has. But Medieval was looking worse. Medieval was looking way worse.
Yeah, it was not looking good.
I hope they got that straightened out.
But I like this animation for State of Play, but I hate that it's repeating every 20 seconds. It needs to have something different.
Needs a static graphic. I don't like... If the Batman game we're getting is another... what's the studio that makes these games? The Arkham games?
Rocksteady.
Yeah, Rocksteady. They haven't been hitting homers since, and especially not in the PC division. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, it's fine now. It's just we have no idea what it'll be at launch. How was... Well, that's another room. I was going to say what was like MK11 like, but...
That was, yeah, it was outsourced, and it was an early build that launched, and that took a week or two to get sorted out, but they sorted it out.
Short story, though, is Warner Brothers is not consider PC a priority when it comes to releasing. They just put it out there.
Yeah.
And worry about it later.
When they put out a game and it doesn't run as well, I'll be upset.
But also, Arkham Knight was also just kind of eh. It was bogged down by the Batmobile stuff, I know, is the biggest criticism, but overall the story also was just weaker.
Yeah.
And, well, I haven't played every single Arkham game. I've only played City, so the middle game, but I think that one's considered the best one anyway.
I think I preferred Asylum, but I still enjoyed City. But I just want a game like those two, and not like definitely not like Origins or whatever the third one was. I watched both of those games. Like I watched playthroughs of them.
Yeah, Origins wasn't even Rocksteady. Everyone outside of the boss battles, I heard Origins was just awful.
Yeah. Wow, this graphic does suck.
Yeah. Well, no,
really
I like the graphic. It looks really cool, but when you repeat it every 20 seconds, it's boring.
Yeah.
Like, if you do the same type of style of, it's little tiles clicking and clacking together, but in different ways, it'd be cool. But it's literally the same one.
Or if there wasn't so much motion.
Yeah.
Like, if it just had a flowing background, that'd be fine.
They're definitely going for a Nintendo vibe, though, with, like, the little tune in the background. You hear that?
Yeah.
It's like something from like a Mii shop or something.
Wish Nintendo still did that. The Switch needs a little like theme update. Get themes going aside from Dark and Light. Get some music. But this is Sony's show. Sorry. PlayStation has enough themes. I use this PS2 theme. Hi. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm streaming as well. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Oh,
No, that's fine.
Okay.
You're fine. How you doing? You ready?
I'm good. I'm looking at this. I don't know if Austin some stuff came out about FF7. I don't know if you saw it.
Just press stuff. Yeah. The box art screenshots.
Okay. Cool.
The TGS gameplay with no commentary.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, the boss fight. The app's boss fight.
I definitely gotta watch it with no commentary then. Oof.
Yeah.
I saw the box art and I saw the screen. I don't know if they saw the materia screen, but it was there.
Oh yeah, I didn't look at that yet.
Looks great. Oh, this is that one game that they released them. If this is a game, not just an intro.
It had a developer.
So,
Manity.
do you remember this being like a game that was similar to this on the PS3, where it was like all about amassing people
I
to
don't.
help from a virus? Yeah, I forget what it's called.
128
This
Mario.
looks like some experimental type thing, though.
Lemmings looks really weird in 2019.
I really hope Medieval is running better. Get games
Medieval
doing this
runs as
stuff.
well as this game, yeah. So
By
is
the
this
people that
like,
made Tetris Effect.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get rid of this fucking chat. I forgot how awful the chat is.
Dude, they were talking about PS Home 2. I don't know what you're talking about. It's the best chat.
Honestly, if PS Home became a thing again, I'd be fucking aboard. All aboard, man. Be all aboard. I don't even know what that's supposed to be.
And it's, you know, it's people.
It's people and they kill each other.
Like I said, it looks like just some weird experimental thing.
What a poignant social commentary. Get blown out of the water, Joker.
Hey everyone, it's time for another State of Play. We're really excited to share some great games and surprises with you today.
Oh,
Starting with
look
the
at this
exclusive
Nintendo
humanity
Direct!
from Enhanced
Yeah.
You gotta tease him with like
Infinity War
almost
gives
what's
us an
next.
all-new look at Call of Duty Modern
Oh
Warfare. an
no.
epic
Hey.
Well, it
adventure in the
works.
blockbuster
Yeah,
series.
exactly.
It works. You have to use it. I actually I would love to see the campaign. Let me see here.
20 years of civil war.
Oh wow, that looks insane.
This is bigger now. Chemical weapons have fallen into terrorist hands. They could be anywhere.
We need to move fast.
What do you suggest?
The boy, Captain Price.
Farah! Let's talk. I need your help.
Because of this poison, my people have known something worse than war.
Help us track him.
If you stay, we can help you. But if you stay, you fight.
Yelling Atul.
The invaders of my country have no regard for human life. We live like this every day.
Is this the first
Any
Call of
further
Duty campaign that's
complications
not
in the
first person?
No, the Advanced Warfare had scenes like this as well, and so did Infinite Warfare.
Okay.
Join us.
They're trying to make it more cinematic instead of having everything in-game or in-engine, which is really,
Here. No?
I don't know.
How about you, Captain?
That looks in game.
Let them die.
Some of them are definitely, but
Yeah.
there's been a handful that look very much CG.
Where do we draw the line, sir?
You draw the line.
No time! Stop!
Wherever you need it.
What the hell is this?
It's the off switch. We're all just pawns in this.
You speak for yourself.
This is crazy.
Yeah, but we're a little crazy, aren't we? The rules of engagement have changed. If you can't identify the target, you are the target.
I don't know if that's how that works, Captain Price, but I'm still pretty on board. Definitely on board with that Spec Ops survival mode. Cool. So it's Horde.
Reinforcements approaching the bank. We advise you to get in and get ready to fight.
This wasn't super fun in Modern Warfare 3, so hopefully it is in this one.
Thankfully, we don't have much longer to wait. Call of Duty Modern Warfare lands on
Which was
PS4
fun.
this
The beta was
October.
fun.
Yeah, it's in October, that's what I thought.
Now, from the imagination of the creator of
Fruits.
Katamari Damacy and Nobi Nobi Boy, comes a long-awaited update.
Annapurna? Wasn't Annapurna? I feel like I've seen that name for horror games mainly.
They're also known for, wait, hold on. Before I say it, let me double check.
Hey, Rita.
Sure, but when does the cube eat its own asshole to become bigger?
Just because we
there's
think
one.
it's horror doesn't mean it's gotta be. See?
Annapurna is also a movie company. That's the same company.
Yeah.
See? It's a game about holding hands. Give Rita a pet? I can. She won't come in.
Kaboom with me, it said. What the fuck?
She likes to walk upstairs, peek in the room, and then walk back down.
Did they just sacrifice those two children to the almighty sun god?
I think so.
Well, it's certainly a Katamari Damacy game, for sure.
Yeah. But even Katamari had some lore to it, you know? Who knows what this all means?
Oh, here we go. Here's a lore dump. They have kids' voices.
I need you to go to all of these worlds.
Watan?
Hey, Rita.
This gentleman certainly is one of the more creative types, I'd say, in the entire industry. I mean, he no matter what, it all looks like it doesn't make any sense, but when you actually play his games, they all effectively have a loop that makes sense within the world. So,
Whimsical World of Watam comes to PS4 this December. Okay, prepare to embark on a gorgeous new journey with another first look.
okay. Oh, Techland, what do we got? A lot of indie joints.
Is Dead Island back? Is it alive? Oh, that's not Dead Island.
Is this
Not even close.
the devil thing? Or something else? It has the same exact art style as that.
I don't remember.
Is this press F to pay respects the game?
Oh my god.
No, that was a few games ago.
Yeah, literally. Lot of indie joints. They had to play so far.
Did they say how long this was gonna be?
20 minutes.
Oh, really? Alright. Nope.
But like I said, I think it's gonna be 10 minutes of this and then 10 minutes of Last of Us.
I think you're hoping too much, because I think we're supposed to see some other stuff still.
Well, if we see other stuff and it's actually good, I have no problem with that.
Hell yeah.
Regardless, unlike many people who just turn down indie titles, I always would love to play these kinds of games, but anytime that they're released, it's almost always incumbent upon, like, a AAA release as well. So it's like, I'll get around to it.
Or you see more of the game and you feel like, oh, it's not gonna be for you.
A simple story.
Sometimes.
Arise is coming soon to PS4.
Huh?
Now let's see what Rockstar Games has coming to PlayStation
An
VR.
Eleanor VR game? Oh god.
VR
We have a witness who confirms that you were
DLC?
arguing. That your wife
Yeah, because this
ran
is
out,
already
that
out.
you followed
It just
her,
looks
and
like
then you come back.
repurposed
I know
deleted
this looks
footage or
bad.
something. I don't know. I've never
But
seen
it's not
this.
true. We argued, all right? But she went out, and I went out after her. She jumped in a car on the corner.
Man, that does not look good. Hopefully it runs at 60 frames. Oh boy.
I hope so.
This has
Otherwise,
already been out though.
I'm ready to play
Right?
for like 2
She was
minutes.
looking around in her bag. Said she wanted to serve me paper.
LA Noir VR is
Me and her
definitely a
own
thing that
husband.
is out now.
I
Yeah.
love my wife. That's the truth.
Out now.
Was it not on PlayStation?
I guess not.
I guess not. Yeah.
Well,
The good
if you want to
news
play
is
for more
LA
than 5
Noire, the
minutes, better
VR
get that on
case files
PC.
is available at the PlayStation
Yeah, so
Store
it wasn't
today.
on PlayStation.
And that's just a taste of what's coming for PlayStation VR players.
I hope this
comes
is
the
just 10
real-
minutes of VR so we could all be really disappointed.
Was that Space Shuttle 5 for a second?
I got
Yeah, it
that
was.
vibe, but oh yeah, it was.
Born is apparently really fun. That's cool. That fucking agent game looks like another way to make people just fall and break everything in their house.
Yup.
Just miss PSVR. There was a.
Hey!
I don't remember.
Now remaster PSO. Do it, you cowards.
We'll just go
More for
with
you to
yeah.
check
You
out.
just missed PSVR.
Get ready for an update on Medieval. Here's your chance
hey, we
to
are
get
gonna
your
see
hands on a demo of the
Medieval.
eagerly
I knew it
awaited
was said like
experience
that.
launching
I'm
today
so
on the
bitch.
PlayStation Store.
Oh, demo.
Oh, well there you go. Cool.
Neato.
We'll try that out for sure. It looks like it runs better.
Yeah, that's running better. I didn't expect 60. I just want stable 30.
Yeah. It could also be one of those awkward demos that is happening nowadays lately, which really sucks, which is the game might run better on a fucking natural PS4 because apparently the PS4 Pros are just not working as well for certain games.
I've been hearing about that. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Be sure to play the demo to get
Well,
Dan's helmet when the full
The Watch Dogs
adventure
was
rises
like
again
that
this October.
when it launched, and it was because
At long last, a
the
legendary
processing and
series makes
demand
its
in the
debut
PS4
to
Pro is just
PS4.
greater anyways, which is
Yeah.
really weird, but
Civilization.
Oh, Civilization on PS4. That's weird
Yup.
and completely doesn't make any sense.
They're not even putting the good one on PlayStation.
yeah, I forget reading how they made it work on Switch. I think there was mobile controls already figured out.
We are not amused.
I really feel like when games start embracing that kind of cartoony art style, they just fucking jump the shark so hard. I don't know why, but like every time I've seen people do that kind of stuff, the game just ends up not being as good or
PS4 players will
good at
finally
all.
get the
They
Civ
start
was always
simplifying
silly.
expand
it.
their empires in just a few short
Oh.
months. You might have heard
Yeah, that's
Death
coming.
Stranding from director Hideo Kojima is launching this November. We've got something very cool to show you.
If we
We're
Oh, new
actually
trailer?
seeing more on Death Stranding.
humanity won't
You know.
We've seen a lot.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah,
seen
that's
a,
why
a
I'm-
fuck ton. I never talked to you guys about that. I totally got the whole thing. Ah,
Traumatization.
god damn it.
Oh, that controller's
Yeah.
cute.
Control's fine.
I need to put that next to my Atomic
Really
Purple
selling
N64.
Really selling these bundles.
I could just put white paint on my hand and put it on my PlayStation, dude. I'll have the same thing.
Now let's
This game that I've been hearing about for years.
What the hell is this?
Drinking game, if it
After Party? You never heard of After Party?
Hell basically runs itself nowadays.
2 people in college die, and they have to go on a drinking party throughout all of hell.
Every once in a while, but people typically know what to expect. Except, well, these 2 morons I keep hearing about. Milo and Lola. They're friends their whole lives that then go and die like 2 minutes before graduating college.
Wow.
They go through processing, get their personal deal and the whole thing. But then they take a cab ride from Sam, and she goes and blabs about the loophole. Like
that demon touched my ass.
You know?
I definitely like the concept and the style.
I told them to outdrink Hell's monarchs first.
Yeah.
My psycho relative.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this game for a while now, and it just is getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and
The losers will have to deal with karaoke crowds, the lava swamps, the fanatics from the Force Circle.
Looks like it's finally close to release, though.
I mean, these complete idiots really have no idea.
It looks like it's like a platformer with mini games in between.
No, it's more like it's definitely more of a. I wouldn't call it a walking simulator, but it is just mini games with walking.
I was gonna say like point and click, but on console.
Exactly, it's a point and click game.
Coming soon to PS4.
And it looked
Coming
really
soon.
funny, so.
Well,
We've got a
no
sneak
date.
peek at October's PlayStation Plus lineup.
Oh, we got MLB for free. Great.
Oh,
Granted, these
no,
games
dude,
are
I'm happy about
super
this.
Successful. Yeah, they're super successful on fucking PlayStation.
I'll play it till they put that Super Nintendo baseball game on the Super Nintendo service.
I'm pretty sure at least like what the big, what is it called?
The show? Right?
The show. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the show is not like on the level of Madden or FIFA or NBA where their microtransactions are stupid. Like these are actual games. I mean, they
watch baseball for them to buy anything.
Oh, this is yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
MLB The
I'll
Show
play that a
19
bit.
will be free for PlayStation Plus members starting in October. But wait, today we can also share that The Last of Us Remastered is also coming to PlayStation.
It took a while
Plus
for them to do
starting in
this.
October.
Yeah.
Alongside
I'll
MLB The
play
Show
both
19.
though.
There were many opportunities where I could have just paid
Time's almost
$10
up, but
for
before
it,
we
and
let
now
you
I'm
go,
glad I held
let's
off.
take a look at another upcoming PS4 game.
Been
from
meaning to replay
PlayStation's
it.
Worldwide Studios.
So,
I've never
Unlike a
played
T-
it
unlike a
myself.
T-
I've only watched.
On like a TV, I can see.
How would you rate?
Oh no, they're smoking the ganja. And they're lesbians. I'm gonna have to say something about this on my Twitter.com.
That's pretty.
Look who decided to join us. All right. You all know the drill. Run your routes. Mark your logbooks. You run
The
into
gore is
anything you
really
can.
turned up. Turn up to 11.
Ah.
Brave, State of Plays have never really been, like, the last State of Play was basically a fluke. That was only because it had Final Fantasy VII. All gameplay, by the way.
Get off me! Please stop!
Jeez.
No!
Tommy, I have to finish it.
You have no idea what you're walking into.
What are you doing?
You don't know how large that group is, how armed.
I don't care. You can't stop this.
Oof.
Well, at least their tattoo's cool.
Joel Bear!
What the hell are you doing here?
Wow.
You think I'd let you do this on your own?
They were close to calling it The Last of Me.
I feel like
Oh!
I'll wait till
there you
this is all
go.
over. Okay, so
Hey.
the leak was real.
We know you've been
Isn't-
anxiously awaiting
what else
any
is in
news on this
February?
hugely anticipated title. Thanks to Naughty Dog for giving us this all-new look at The Last of Us Part 2. And we've even got a release date. Mark your calendars for February 21st, 2020. Okay, everyone, that's a wrap on another
That's
episode
like 2
of
weeks
State
from
of
Final
Play.
Fantasy VII
Thanks for
Remake.
watching. We'll see you again soon. And keep the feedback and suggestions coming.
Oh, that's gonna be
Until next
kind of
time.
rough.
Which is insane because it already puts PlayStation on the map in the beginning of the year for having two of probably the most high-profile games like release pretty much like simultaneously, and they're exclusives. So like,
Yeah.
so that blows my fucking original idea out of the water, where PSX was going to come around and announce that the PS5 was coming day and date with FF7. But whatever.
That was never gonna happen.
I don't know
no
about
way.
that. I don't
Well,
know
on the
about that.
upside, if the next part of FF7 Remake takes full advantage of PS5 hardware, it'll benefit the open world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
I wanted to be a bit into the PS5's life.
I'm just it looks like I'm very confused about what their plan for the next generation is, because I know that they needed to release games for next year, but obviously they can't control Square Enix wanting to release Final Fantasy VII. But Last of Us 2 coming out so early in the year, when I would assume PS5's right around the corner. It has to be, because we have a Project Scarlet date like set. Like we have that all set to go.
Yeah.
They'll show something next summer.
Yeah.
It'll just follow the same cycle.
Will it though?
Maybe they'll tease something in spring next year, but they'll go into the details just like Microsoft in the summer. And then they'll both release holiday season. 100%.
Yeah, it's usually like that period, like several months when the PR ramps
so they're
up.
just gonna come back to E3 then, is what you're saying?
Probably. At least
Not
like
necessarily that they'll come back to E3, but they'll show stuff during that period or wherever they do it.
yeah, that's a news cycle regardless of E3.
Because
Yeah,
I
for
don't know if you
sure.
heard with E3, but they're rebranding it for next year to where it's basically gonna be straight up a convention like PAX or something.
Right, because
Or
I don't
VidCon.
because so many people have been dipping out of E3. That's why.
Yeah, it's on a big decline.
It's super big decline because of the fact that a lot of I think it has to do with like a money issue. Like the EDCA has just been fucking begging people for more and more money, and because they I don't for whatever reason, and then most people have just been kind of like dipping out. You know, I mean that's why I think Xbox is really the only big one right now that's still kind of just chilling over at E3 itself. And then Sony. I thought Sony fucked off this year because they were going to take advantage of PSX. But we have, like, Sony's been so fucking quiet all year. Like, I haven't heard a goddamn thing other than the last two State of Plays, which this one, all we really did get was Last of Us footage and also the biggest reveal ever, Space Channel 5's coming.
Yeah, the PR is really weird because Ghost of Tsushima is still pretty much off the map now.
I think they've just been doing what Microsoft's doing, but quiet, where they're preparing for the next gen.
But they
You're
still
gonna
have
see
titles to get out.
Yeah, but that's why they're not making this big show of things at E3 earlier this year, because they have Last of Us, they have Death Stranding, and then stuff that may be in development that they haven't shown. And if it's for the next gen, why would they show?
Yeah.
Or there could be stuff that crosses over, like the PS2 and the PS2 did.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, at this point, it's all but confirmed that like it's gonna be like backwards compatible, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense.
Right, which is why my original theory was like it was gonna they were gonna release the PS5 super early, or as early as possible in the year, and be like, hey, play all of these games that just came out on PS4 but better. Do it here.
Yeah, there might be like they might have to like. Well, with Sony, it's usually not drip feeding compatibility. It's usually just it is natively backwards compatible.
Right.
But, you know, like with 360 was so selective.
I think it's going to be like native for sure. It can't not be native.
Probably, yeah.
The technology's there.
It probably like
be an expectation at this point.
Yeah, because it sounded like it built right off of it and upgraded speeds, and you know, it just comes with an SSD.
It doesn't make sense for it to not be backwards compatible right now, considering that was such a huge fucking point of contention for everybody at the beginning of this generation. And then on top of that, like for us to not hear like even any kind of rumblings of any sort of next generation title, the only other thing that now that we know that Last of Us 2 is coming out very, very fucking soon, apparently, that means that there's no game that they could turn around and be like PS5, other than like Ghost of Tsushima, which, I mean, we haven't heard much about that. And then there's also whatever Insomniac's going to be cooking up for the PS5. I think that's what's happening right now, is that there might be a Spider-Man coming for PS5 immediately.
It's entirely possible.
Maybe. Yeah, sure, but like Cory Barlog hasn't been. I mean, all I'm going to say is the sources that I've normally been going back and forth on have said next to nothing about any actual like next generation titles. Whatever's been going on with Sony, they've been keeping everything incredibly close to the chest, which is weird. I don't think that they were this fucking secretive back during the PS4. Like, they were pretty open about what they were going to do with the PS4 over the course of that release cycle, but like...
Yeah.
Well, when we were going from PS3, it was also a different position they were in.
Yeah, well,
and a lot of the early titles were... A lot of the early titles for PS4 were just ports because they wanted some of their better ones to be actually played by a larger audience.
For sure.
So it's a bit different, especially with how hard Microsoft has shown they want to try to go. Why show your hand quite yet when you can build up what do you want to call it? Like an audience of people who want to see what they're gonna do, and you just come out the gate with something huge.
But I wonder if
maybe they'll somehow blow Microsoft out of the... What?
I wonder if they even have a hand to show, because when you think about it, three of the most high profile releases of the year are all going to be released within not like 2 months of each other. You've got Last of Us in February. You've got FF7 in March. You've got Cyberpunk in April. Like you've got these.
Well, two of those are third party.
Right, but like I would still consider them. The fact that there's no talk on their end about any sort of next generation capabilities, and they're being made for the like previous consoles, like we don't hear any rumblings at all of there being like even a compatibility patch or anything like that, like they did with the PS4 Pro. Like, it's weird as shit. It's weird as shit that like not even Microsoft has said anything about that. I think that
I
don't think it's weird.
It was weird when Nintendo was doing the same thing. They didn't say they didn't intentionally say anything about what was going on with the Switch until it was like a few months from its launch.
Exactly.
That might be the strategy they're aiming at, because it worked.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's smart because it worked because it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Not to say that Sony doesn't have a lot of dong to hang, as it were, but I think that if anyone can come out of the gate swinging and just do, hey, look at this wacky fucking thing we got, it's Nintendo. Like, there's no one else who can do, like, you kind of have to lead people up to that. But, the other question is, what can the PS5 do other than backwards compatibility that's going to blow people out of the fucking water right now? You know what I mean? That's why I'm
well, I was saying, I saw The Last of Us Part 2 is a 2-disc game, and so is Final Fantasy VII. So we should probably upgrade Blu-ray discs.
Yeah, it probably is like a whole new format, yeah.
We should be getting around, Sony should be getting around to that at this point. If they're not gonna I don't know, there could be better optimization, but if they're not gonna go the full mile on optimization, they should probably start making the mediums bigger, the physical ones.
Well, so what they've got to do is they've got to be able to contend with, Microsoft, because Microsoft has come out of the gate swinging. They've already sat there and thrown the big 120 FPS dick on the table for all to see. So, like, if PS5 can't even remotely contend with that in a day and age where we've pretty much been in the most, like, I would say performance-wise, a lot of games just have been so inconsistent with what they're supposed to be in this generation. Where, like, games are being played at 20 frames. Like, that should not be happening in our day and age. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact of the growing pains of such a giant leap in technology, and then the mid-generation system change, too, on both fronts, where the Xbox One X has presented pretty much the strongest console to date, to where I don't think Project Scarlet's going to even be that much of a leap in terms of technical prowess. I think it was like maybe 25 to 50% more, which in the grand scheme of it all, you would think that's like, it sounds like a lot, but like in comparison from generation to generation, it's kind of a pittance. You know what I mean? Like, from the 360 to the Xbox One is a leap. And I don't think that the leap from Xbox One X to Scarlet's going to be as significant or huge, which is weird that we still live in a day and age where games are just not performing.
Yeah.
I think, personally and honestly, I think we have to stop aiming for like 4K resolutions right now in order to get the stable frame rate. Especially since I don't think the jump from 1080 to 4K is all that significant.
A lot of games on console don't do native 4K. They do checkerboarding because they can't do native 4K. So they
I wonder why they're struggling so hard to stabilize it then, because
can humans see in 4K?
Apparently a lot of Unreal 4 games on PS4 don't even run 1080p. I learned over this researching process that Dragon Age 11 is 900p on PS4.
Give me one moment.
So, and that's apparently a thing with Unreal 4 games. Unreal 4 on console. Sometimes not 1080.
It's like, it doesn't help that everyone's trying to go for like photorealistic stuff too. But even then, we were talking earlier, why is Spyro of all things struggling with their frame rate at times and stuff?
Or Medieval. Yeah.
So it should be those stylized games that
now granted it's
don't
like
need the photorealistic lighting to function. So
at release it's like at release it's a different story. Otherwise it's just that's how game development is. So the fact that Medieval's now looking fine, that's a good sign. As long as it's a consistent 30.
Yeah, but that's what we mean, though.
Switch is a pretty different story, but Link's Awakening is still pretty bad with its frame rate.
We're just getting back to 30 again. We can't. We're trying to say, oh, we're gonna reach 120, but we can't even hit 60 stable.
No, if we get to stable 30, I'd be fine. Like I accepted that on plenty of games, especially on console. Stable 30 is fine, but
that's kind of why I was really excited to hear Microsoft come out of the gate swinging and say something like 120 frames per second is going to be the new standard.
Right.
Because 120 frames variable is still mostly well above 60. So even if it's not going to hit 120 frames all the time, you're still going to be within the 90 to 80 range, which is, at that point, you're still exhibiting and experiencing all the qualities of a game that's running really like above 60 or at 60 frames, and you're still experiencing all like everything that comes with that.
Yeah, and if you've seen a game at 120 or just above 100, you know what that's like.
That was the only way to play Final Fantasy 15 on PC, because if you try to lock it at 60, the game keeps dropping.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious though with the Project Scarlet, how many are actually going to be able to utilize 120 FPS? Because I feel like unless you're playing a first-party title, a bunch of third parties are going to struggle still, just like they're doing with this generation.
Because all third-party titles run it. Because we'll think about it this way. Every third-party title that's on PC, boom, like you have to fucking run it at an unlimited frame rate. That's almost a standard now.
There's actually quite a lot of like PS3 games that ran higher under the hood, like Metal Gear Solid 4 on emulator goes above 30.
Right, so we'll have to see what the actual hardware of the Scarlet is, though.
All I know is that they sat there and said frame rate, which is huge, and I think that like it's going to be really weird and silly to see these companies after basically almost a decade of them going back and forth going, no man, 4K is the future, to go, all right, we get it, you want 60 frames, let's do it. I want it to be that way.
Yeah, we'll have to
It should be that way.
With that said, I hope they still utilize like 4K discs, because those can hold more data, so that you can still get physical games if you want.
Right, I don't want it to be gone. I just want it to be, like you said, like, don't make it such a focal point to a point where it's actively impacting the experience, because there are rigs, enthusiast rigs, that still can't run games at 4K 60. Like ACG, Centaur Gaming, the guy, he does a bunch of reviews all the time, that he consistently always has games that very rarely hit 4K 60. And he has an incredible rig, and the idea that his experience is not the normal, like, is pretty much the normal experience, essentially, is like, maybe we should kind of try to figure out, like, I don't think we're at 4K standards, and yet there's still motherfuckers trying to push to 8K right now.
Yeah.
So, like...
Well, that's just a numbers, oh, look at my dick size bullshit. It don't mean nothing.
The next Crisis machine and all that.
Because and I think that's only like Samsung right now. They're trying to push their 8K LED something bullshit.
I'll take a foldable TV.
It's
push that gimmick. I'm all for it.
I think games are still struggling even at 2K 1440p.
Yeah, the foldable TV is going to steal all the money from you, though. It's not going to give anything back.
But
the next that'll be the next Switch model. It folds. We'll be right back where we started. Man, are we wrapping up here?
I think just about.
Yeah, you guys can wrap up. I'm probably gonna go watch this.
We didn't see Batman
gameplay.
Yeah, do that. All right, I'm gonna wrap up then. So, thanks everyone for tuning in for the state of play. Let's see. Tonight's Tuesday. Rave should be live with what's he doing?
Did he finish Dead Rising?
Yeah, he did. So we'll have to see what he's doing. Then Pop will be live tomorrow, continuing Catherine, and then on Thursday I'll be continuing Battle Network 3, and then Rave again on Friday.
We will not be live tonight, so if you guys are here, please go ahead and give our boys the go to bed some support tonight, because we are not going to be live tonight. We're going to be at Sunset. So there you go.
Oh yeah.
Mwah.
All right. I got CEO Tacos this weekend too.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend for us in the hipster household, as it were.
Have fun.
Yep. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, go to bed.
Okay. Now I have Austin to myself.